Guys, the rental market, you're hearing it first here now. We've had this happen a lot on the northern beaches. We often report stuff first, then it happens to the rest of the state later. We're talking about the rental market. Is it hot or not? Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Bit awkward. Are we delivering bad news or good news? I can't work this one out.
Yes, I guess from the landlord's perspective, it will be contrary to what Channel 9 or 10 or 7 are saying and while they're drinking their morning coffee. But Northern Beaches, we do things first.
Unbelievable. Now, Cleo, your credentials, property manager, can I say 20 years?
Not yet 20.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Dealing with thousands of rental properties, with amongst your team members there. You've got really good cut through and understanding of property management, highs and lows of the market, where we're sitting. What are you seeing at the moment?
We are seeing a lot of rental stock coming on the market. We have had to include a longer run on a Saturday, whereas we've been really spoiled in the last year or so where, you could finish up at 12 or, 1 o'clock because you only had 2 or 3 properties to show. At the moment, we have 40 new rental stock properties for Wednesday and Saturday. And from 2 or 3 weeks ago, that was less than half. So what is happening? We don't know. Like, there has never been a crystal ball where we could predict every element. However, I find some of the advice I've been giving to my clients 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago is now completely different. I'm going to have to pivot in my responses because we do have a lot more rental properties on the market at the moment.
And we're seeing this, like we're measuring this metric across realestate.com on all Northern Beaches property. It's real. It's not an agency only thing. Something I have to mention is I often am brought information by the bigger groups like realestate.com or Domain or statewide providers bring us data on performance of what the market's doing. And I often find the data they bring on Northern Beaches is first to market. So, as an example, when we had COVID and when we started having price increases through COVID for property sales, for example, they were coming to us saying, this is weird. Your analytics on the Northern Beaches are higher than anywhere else in the state. The property prices are on the rise, which is higher than anywhere in the state. And when we started seeing the rental market explode and do well again, Northern Beaches was first to market. For some strange reason, we often get we're first responder. Like we see that stuff happening straight away to us, and wanted to let everyone know in the world that's what's going to, I believe, and I'm backing this, and watch this show next time. I believe this is going to be like a fireball across the state. I reckon we're back in black. I reckon we're back to our normal numbers. Now, to be very simple, rents aren't going down. To be very simple, rents are leveling out. And to be very simple, they're going back to the regular numbers that we've experienced over the years in a regular market. So where our rental market is coming back to a normalised or stabilised market, a balanced market is what I'd like to call it.
For sure. Excuse me. The stock that we have is either in the really high end bracket, and then we also have the properties that are somewhat older. Interior isn't as modern. The ones that have come on the market now, I think from my perspective as well. They're renting at really good rents. However, the tenants are vacating for so many different reasons. And one of them yesterday was just, I've bought a property, that's great, settles, moving out. That owner will probably get an increase in rent reletting the property. However, I'm also finding some owners just can't inject the money into these properties that are older that need a bit of a facelift. They're in a position where these rate rises have, broken their spirit a bit, and there is no kitty of, surplus to do the LED upgrade, to put in the aircon, to put in the dishwasher. So they're wondering, well, if the stock level is really, really low, how come my property is on the market now and it's not rented in one open home like what we have expected? So, I think tenants are being a bit more savvy at the moment too. So they're really looking around and thinking what they're going to rent for the next 12 months.
It's good news for tenants.
Yeah.
It's good news that they're not chasing a snowball that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's leveled out for tenants. For landlords, well, I guess in a way it's still good news because they're actually enjoying the rental increase from a year ago and from 2 years
For
ago. So
sure.
they are getting a rental increase, but it's more competitive out there. And yeah, I think it's interesting because landlords have been putting their rent up because of land tax. Landlords have been putting their rent up because of interest rate rises, for whatever reason. But most of those reasons are money is tight. Now that they're competing more heavily with other stock, tenants have more selection to get the nice stuff, and they'll opt to
Yeah.
buy to get that, and then they don't actually have the money to certainly the landlord doesn't have the money to circle back and go, okay, I'm going to put a dishwasher in, or I'm going to put some fresh coat of paint or some carpet all the way through. So a bit catch-22, but that's life.
It is. And, as property managers, we see all these kind of shifts in the market. We used to say winter time, always stock comes available at winter.
Yeah, well, that
You know,
is that
the
true?
seasonal. Yeah, I believe it is. I don't know what it is about the colder month. Obviously, during Christmas and summer and the holidays, who doesn't want to live on the northern beaches? But when it gets a little bit cold out there, sometimes, moving back home, to mum and dad's, for example, they pay for all of their electricity and heating, and then come summertime, they're out again. So,
And it can,
I
winter can be the catalyst to actually force that on people. So it was in their mind through the summer periods, and then that happens. But I do find that in sales as well, people actually are literally like bears. And a bear goes into their cave in hibernation over a winter period. Literally, in a summer period, they come out and play. Happens, and people are like that with rental properties. But I've for a funny feeling, I think that come summer, it's not going to go back to the summer that we just had in terms of a severe lack of property and huge rental increases. I've just got this gut that I just know it's going to be like this. This is the new norm, winter or summer. Even though winter's brought this on with the rental market. So yeah, guys, interesting. Look, for a landlord, I just think if you're watching today, just keep your finger on the pulse and listen to what we've said, because there's so much old information in the media going on about the firing all cylinders rental market, and you could be not armed when you're going in to rent your property out, thinking that and that only. So hopefully, if you can use today just to arm yourself a little bit, be a little bit careful when you're setting that rent. It's a message that I don't like to deliver. I just want to say the rental market's on fire. Let's go, let's go. Everyone's making more money.
a
It's not
sales
a
agent.
typical sales agent.
Yeah, no, we're here to be realistic. It is good for tenants, very good still for landlords, but yeah, we're back to our normal numbers. I like that word normality. I think this is more what I'm used to. So the last few years has been extreme, unprecedented times, and I think now we're moving back into the normal comfy zone.
And as a landlord or as a property owner, you may find that difficult to accept. But it's when we talk about interest rates as well. But it's the same thing. You know, the normal interest rate, you know, is 5, 6, 7%. Right? You know, not two, not
Yeah,
two.
that's it. The new norm, the old norm, you know, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
it is. And Claire, before we go, last night the Smart Investor Night.
Such a good night. All the speakers, really good. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yes, I think some of that information was so valuable for everyone there, and to see the crowds and the people in DY coming past our office, having something to eat, having a little drink, having a chat, talking about property. What could be better than that? We should do it
it was
every week.
good. There was a big market. What was your takeaway from the Smart Investor Night? By the way, guys, if you do want to watch the Smart Investor Night, you can. It was a live. It was done live as well, so you can circle back on our Instagram, or you can circle back on our Instagram or our Facebook or our LinkedIn to watch the live 6:30 last night. What was your takeaway from the Investor Night?
I believe the superannuation, discussion with storage units, I found that to be really, really interesting because, I have super, my husband doesn't have super. And, investing in storage, coming from someone that's downsized three, my dad's, my mom's, my aunt's, like storage is king if you've got storage, and why not use your super for it? So I found all of that really interesting. The storage facilities.
I liked which you may cotton on to. There was talking about superannuation contributions. If downsizers are downsizing, they can actually put a wad of into their super. So normally you're regulated how much you can put into your super every year, but people over 55 can whack a fair amount into their super for downsizers. So I thought that was interesting. A nice place to hive their money across to. But that was it. Thank you very much for coming on the show
Have a
today,
great
Miss
day,
Cleo.
everyone. Thank you.
Guys,
Talk
if
soon.
you've got any questions for Cleo, throw them at us, and we'll go for them next Thursday, and the Thursday after. That's generally how we run the show. People talk about what they want, tell us what they want to hear, and we go live talking about it with the pros.
See you.
See you, Cleo. See everyone. Have a great day.